Welcome to, before we get started, Impact, there's a couple of things I gotta say. One, there was no NWA Power this week. It was Power Surge, but I'm glad I took a brief look at it. I did look at it, and it was just basically what we normally see from Power Surge, except for one thing. We saw someone that could be someone else. Could be. Plunkett had a match. Plunkett had a match. Now, I'm not going to talk about Tim Storm and Tom Latimer. That's not necessary. It's about Plunkett. And the person that he might have had a match with was the 5 o'clock shadowed possible. Possible Tyler Breeze. Possibly Tyler Breeze. If it was him, known as the Throb, because on the back of his trunks it says the Throb. He had tassels on his legs and his boots. He had ponytail hair. It looked like him. Now, I'm not saying it was him. It could be someone else. But he looked so much like Tyler Breeze. I would not be surprised if it is Tyler Breeze. Isn't Tyler Breeze? He looks like a double ganger of him because it looked like Tyler Breeze. Flat out, he lost the match, but it's a possibility that maybe he might be going to NWA. If he's still interested in wrestling in any form or fashion, and he knows he's not going to be able to get into AEW or Impact for that matter, maybe he decided to go to NWA. Never been to NWA. Maybe he thought maybe Billy Corgan would be interesting if it is him. Second thing. Now, I heard about Crown Jewel, and I heard about some of the matches. I didn't hear all of it. I don't know what happened with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. I'm sure he won that. I don't know about what happened to the Queen of the Ring. That could have been either the most dumbest person, Dewdrop, and I'm not against her. Piper, I'm not against. It's just how she was booked like garbage. And then Salina Vega, who was dumb enough to piss off the people, and I'm not mad at her. As I said, as far as I'm concerned, she probably went back to WWE because of her father, but we find out later she went back because of her husband. She wanted to be with him, and she paid a heavy price. Not only did the fans hate her for doing it, guess what? They fired her husband's ass right after she signed. Whose fault is that? She should never went back. And I'm not saying that because I'm angry at her. I'm just saying it because there's a consequence to anything you do. I'm getting overexposed here. Okay. So, the only thing that kind of pisses me off about Crown Jewel, because I've not seen it, I've only heard what happened, was the King of the Ring. Now, it was finally Finn Balor versus Xavier Woods. Now, I heard that Xavier Woods won. He is now King of the Ring. He is King Xavier. And for what I understand, he literally, how can I say this without sounding like a dick? He lobbied to get the King of the Ring back. They put it out. And instead of using it to bring someone new who they badly need on Raw and SmackDown, they give it to Xavier Woods, who lobbied for it. Now, I'm not saying that he said, give it to me. Maybe Vince said, okay, we're going to give it to you because you're lobbying for it so much. You're the one that's going to have to be spotlighted by it. Fine. Or he said, I want it. Yeah, I don't care about nobody else's ass. Give it to me. You owe me for all the work I've done the last 5 or 6 years. Maybe he did that. But for me personally, I've always liked New Day, as you know. I always loved Xavier Woods and always thought he was untapped talent and should get a title. But you lobby for something to be brought back does not mean you deserve to have it. I don't give a fuck how many people would say, well, black people deserve more in WWE. Fuck that. I'm sorry. Xavier Woods for almost 6 years has been pushed in the tag division and has been spotlighted multiple times, more than anyone else. Next to Kofi and Big E, he has been spotlighted more than anyone else. His gaming show on YouTube is a hit. He's doing still good on it. He did not need this. So I don't care what anyone said. If they're saying, if they're black and they say, dude, why are you acting like that? You're part black. You should be happy for him. Fuck that. He shouldn't have got it. It should go to someone who deserves it because they've not been spotlighted. And I'm not mad at Xavier. If he didn't ask for this, fine. But I'm going to tell the truth. It's wrong. And I don't care. From what I've heard, Crown Jewel was great. It don't matter to me. That part is stupid. Now, if anybody wants me to do a review of a match in Crown Jewel, tell me below. I'm not watching the show in its entirety. Just tell me what match you would like me to look for. I may look. Maybe the Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Maybe when it came to Xavier Woods and anyone else. Just tell me. Now, I know this was a little bit long, so I'll leave a timestamp. Well, this is a moment for Impact. I think it's the right title for this, because we got Bound for Glory. Now, I'm going to make this very short, as quickly as possible. I'm going to go through all this, make it quick, try not to talk too much about it, and give my thoughts about why this is important for Impact and Bound for Glory. Opening match, you got Hikuleo, I think I got his name right, and the Chris Bay, the Bullet Club versus Finn Juice. Now, what happened last week led to this. Good match, but there was no clear winner. They had no clear winner. You could see in my face, one ref gets knocked out, another ref comes from the back. I knew when that second ref came from the back, and the first ref was still laying in the ring, that there was going to be some shenanigans that you get. And now there's going to be a triple threat at Bound for Glory. Finn Juice, Bullet Club, and the Good Brothers. That's what you got. Now, you got a 6-person, how can I say this? Because of the Digital Media Championship, they decided for the 6 remaining competitors who are going to go for it before, I believe, Bound for Glory, they stuck all 6 of them in a triple threat tag team match. Not Jordan Grace. You got Dashwood and Skylar, Grace and Falaba, and Steve and Chelsea Green, who is not acted crazy on Impact, and with Josh Matthews, not Alexander. I got them mixed up last week. Sorry about that. And I hope I don't do it again. But Josh Matthews saying that it kind of makes sense when it comes to Steve and Chelsea Green, a hot mess. She's not a hot mess. She's not acted like it on NWA, yes. But an Impact freaking no. And where is freaking Matt Striker? I'm spitting on my camera because I'm getting angry. Why has Matt Striker not been there? Is he sick? Is he working for someone else? Is he only doing pay-per-views now because he couldn't stand working in Impact, or they weren't willing to pay him? You guys can tell me below, because do not want to go back to why is Josh Matthews back again on commentary before a pay-per-view? Where is Matt Striker? Or better yet, where's Mauro Ranallo? I'd rather hear him working with D'Lo Brown and Matt Striker than a Josh Matthews. In the end, it's Skylar and Tennille Dashwood who won. I think it's John Skylar. That's his name. Honestly, neither one of them matter, because this is about a title that's supposed to be a supposedly mid-card title for Impact Wrestling. Hopefully it's not on their YouTube channel or only going to be defended on Impact Plus. I'm hoping it will be on Impact and it will mean something. I'm just saying. You had Rhino's segment. Rhino goes to the ring. The Heath, as I call him, comes to the ring, talking to him. Rhino says nothing. He makes it very clear he doesn't want to say anything. He hasn't made his mind up. And the Heath has said, I love you. You're not just my friend. My kids think you is their uncle. I was actually making the title. This is one of the thoughts I was making for a title. Uncle Rhino gets whooped. Or Uncle Rhino. I was actually thinking that. But then because of the momentous of this, I couldn't do it. But Heath is trying to make Rhino see that his family loves him. He's an uncle. He's his brother. He loves him. Please be with him. And then Violent by Design comes out. They both start arguing between Rhino. Rhino's looking back and forth or not looking at all. I think I got a shot. He's either looking a little bit to the left, tiny bit to the right, but mainly looking down. And he doesn't look at either side much. And then the fight happens. And then you see that Rhino does not want to get involved. At one point, he did when he looked like he was going to spear Heath, everyone was probably wondering, oh, he's about to finally turn heel. But no, he crawls out of the ring. And then he goes out the same way the fans go out. Again, he doesn't go up to the Titantron, their equivalent of Titantron. He goes to the outside where the fans are. Again, you don't know where he stands. Good. This is great. You know why? Last year, well, no, it wasn't last year. When it was Slammiversary, not last year, Slammiversary, you had Chris Bay showing his true colors to a certain extent, going face, then going heel, then being in between, and then looking like he's a face, but then finally turns and then walks away. Wouldn't it have been better if he didn't choose no side, always stayed away, and then showed his true colors at Slammiversary? He didn't do that. He went let one side, then stayed, then looked like he was going to another side. Then he went to the faces, then pretty much at Bound for Glory, no, not Bound for Glory, at Slammiversary, he showed he's for neither side. It was sloppy. This is not. He's not choosing either side. And I am so glad whoever wrote this part wrote it correctly. You do not need to have one of the people who's in this see him in my face. He hasn't chosen no side. He isn't trying to play to one side or another, or even go to one side or another and then turn at the end at the pay-per-view. He's making it clear he hasn't made his mind up. This is how it should be. Now, we had the match, the Pick Your Poison match of, well, let me give it to you like this. When it came to Savannah Evans, I always get her name messed up, against Mickie James. It was a bit sloppy. It was. Evans still feels green. And then worse yet, Mickie James had wardrobe malfunction on her covers or like shin guards on her boots. And they were held with Velcro that did not want to hold together. And they just peeled off. And it made her look bad, like she was an amateur. Now, mind you, the match was not bad on her part. She had to carry the match because she's more of a veteran than Savannah Evans. That's obvious. That's how it goes. But at the end, Deonna Purrazzo comes out with both her titles. She does not gently touch a Mickie James by hitting her. She does poke her. Legally, she's not supposed to touch her at all. But then, once the face has turned her back and not noticed what's behind her, you got Matthew Raywall. Basically, clothesline her ass. And she's done. Done. There you go. Now afterwards, pretty much Scott is pissed off, saying, you know, you're not supposed to do that. She said, I haven't touched her. Really? What you did with Matthew was still wrong. You weren't supposed to lay your hand on her, and you poking at her is still doing that, and I should strip your ass, but I want you to lose legally. So if you don't want to go to court, pretty much again, because he didn't say that, you pretty much better get ready. And Matthew, if you go up at any time during that match, I will suspend you both permanently. There will be nothing for you both. So that's how it's going to be. Now, we got, how can I say this about Alex Zane versus Trey? Perfect. You know why? Trey was spotlighted. Now, of course, there was a fight afterward where Macklin came out, attacked him, and then once the Bullet Club came out, wiped out both of them, of course, it was going to happen. But, and this is something I want to make very clear to everyone who hears this, you do not every fucking single time need to have a match with the participants that are going to be in a signature match at a pay-per-view, a signature pay-per-view, and have to be seen. One of them could do it. One of them could be spotlighted. Doesn't mean they're going to win it, but at least one would be spotlighted. The other two do not, or the other one doesn't have to be. Yes, they can lay them out. Fine, that happens. It happens. But to actually have each of them have a match in a tag match, I've always hated that. Or basically have a match one after the other, and then that. One of them had the match, period. In this case, it was 3 guys. One of them gets the spotlight, the other 2 gets to fight afterward, and either one gets laid out or both get laid out, and then someone who isn't the one that's picked gets the win out of that fight after the match, who's not involved in it. Seeing that El Fantasma is the one who got that. Fine. I loved it because you didn't have to see all 3 of them in either separate matches or in some type of damn tag match. You don't need it. Spotlight one person. That, I loved it. I'm moving on. Now, let's see. Am I forgetting any other matches? No. That generally is the only matches we need to talk about. Now, let's talk about all the segments that happened. Briefly. You got Brian Myers pretty much getting rid of Lemon and Sam, who wanted a signature, but then VSK signed it for him, and he's heartbroken. I'm leaving it at that. Then you have the contract signing. You have Mark. I believe his name is Mike or Mark. What was the guy's name again? I forgot what the guy's name. Evans, the same lawyer who was with Deanna Purrazzo last year, trying to keep her title, but could not. She got herself in a lot of trouble back then, and she tried to get something from, you know how it went. But now he is the Inspirations lawyer, and he comes with the contract, all signed by them. And then you get Decay. And you see 2 things from Rosemary. 1, she's angry because the pens are not using blood. And 2, she can smell fresh meat. A little bit of the virgin. She wants to see that virgin blood spilled. Either spilled out or spilled in. I'm just saying. She wanted to spill the blood of a Johnny Bravo. Now she wants to spill the blood of Evans. Is she divorced yet? Is Johnny Bravo divorcing Rosemary? Are they fully divorced? Did they have a divorce yet? But essentially, we get the contract signing, and it still angers me. I'm sorry. If anyone's fine with this, this is still, and I know, I think 1 or 2 of my subscribers are so happy that they're getting this. It's wrong. This is how you book someone improperly. If you actually think this is correct booking, it's not. It's stupid booking. You could have brought them on the show with a debut tag match. You could have brought them on the show easily to just show and spotlight themselves and have a segment in the ring. If they're going to fly or they're going to fall, it would have really given a good idea who we're dealing with. No. You give them a fucking tag match for the title at Bound for Glory. This is dumb booking. Because once this is done, either they win or not. They have to win now. Because if they don't win, it's going to look bad on them. Because they're going to have to find a way to make the booking look good. Unless they lose due to the fact of outside interference, they must win or they look like shit. They look like fucking jobbers if they do. That's the way it's going to be. And if anybody tries to justify this, think about this carefully, my friend. Male or female, I don't give a fuck who you are. If your favorite tag team of Cassie Lee and Jennifer really think they're going to have something, it's going to look bad. Either they gotta win those titles and they're gonna book them properly, or they're gonna have to lose due to outside interference. So if they lose, they better make damn sure they book these women right, or what was the damn point of bringing them in to Bound for Glory? It's stupid. You wonder how I think? Look at my Gump report on the inspiration. Look at it. Look at my thoughts on it. It'll make sense. Now, final thing I'm going to talk about. If I'm forgetting something, I'm sorry. This is about Josh and Christian. At the end of the show, they left about 19 minutes for them to talk to each other and then have their brawl afterward. No problem. The talk between them both was good. Seeing that they spotlighted Josh Alexander and showed his life, showing video of himself when he was a teenager and when he first started out wrestling was good. Showing when he had his neck injury twice over was great. Showing how he feels about wrestling, what is his passion, his love, and how he feels about Impact, how he felt about X Division, how he feels about the world title, and what it means. They didn't do a package for Christian. They didn't need to. They already got it done. And the segment in the ring was a back and forth. And they make it very clear. This is important for Impact. And take a little bit, I believe, from Josh. He said, you'll see that it's more important that I win it than you because I'm not getting paid by some damn billionaire on another promotion. I am going to get this title. I am going to win this title. And I'm going to slam the damn forbidden door in your face. And anyone who wants to try and walk through it will know that the ultimate weapon is standing here waiting for them. And then a little after that, you finally have the brawl. It's a little noisy. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. I think someone's drunk trying to climb the steps. Ugh. But anyway, what do we have here? What do we truly have? We have a moment. This is an important moment for Impact. That is the name of this. Sorry, guys. I had to stop the video because the guy or girl outside was really walking around making a lot of noise. I had to stop it for a minute. Unless they're coming back down the steps again. Oh my gosh, it's always noisy in this building. Anyway, this is a moment for Impact. You know why? Last year, no, 2 years ago, they made the conscious choice to put the main title on a woman. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I never said a woman champion would be bad as long as you book her properly, and they didn't. They didn't book Tessa Blanchard correctly. No matter how much anyone was happy to see a woman as a champion in a nice change, it counts on the booking. And her booking was wrong. You had Sami Callihan literally take a stick up the ass to put her over. And then you go to 2020 once the pandemic started. And then what did you get? You get Tessa basically not wanting to do anything for Impact Wrestling, not wanting to care about anything for Impact Wrestling, and they had to fire her and they had to strip her and fire her. And then they had to try and make up for that. Eventually, what did they have to do? They didn't build the proper feud for Rich when he had his chance at the title and got it. Yes, it was great with Eric Young, but it would have been better for Sami Callihan to go up against Rich Swann, who are considered family, and they didn't do it. That would have been the ultimate story for the world title, and they refused to do it. I'm not saying because I would have rather seen it. It's because that was an automatic type of story that many people knew and many people wanted to see. Fast forward into 2021. Once someone, probably Don Callis, made the decision to talk to Kenny Omega and AEW to make an agreement to start working together, which, fuck AEW and Impact Wrestling, because they did nothing other than let the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega be the general people to come back and forth until Christian, until maybe once Private Party, until Christian Cage, who's been going back and forth, and one or two times the Kazarian, and now they have Christopher Daniels there, who has not been seen only but maybe once or twice on the show, not knowing if he's going to keep coming back. That is all they've done. So this is an important moment for Impact Wrestling, because you still have a betweener of AEW and Impact, a guy who works on 2 shows, holding the title, going back and forth, only doing something once in a while there with the damn title, which 100% doesn't translate to Impact. Because guess what? You don't see Impact stars like a Moose, like a Trey, like a Sami Callihan, like a Eddie Edwards, like a W. Morrissey, or the DK, which would be very interesting to see them interact with Dark Order. None of them go over to AEW, so they gain nothing there. And then you have New Japan Pro Wrestling. You had Finjuice come over. You have El Phantasmo come over. Now, Marshall Nakazawa, I believe his name. Nakazawa. He was on AEW already, faced a Moxley. Now he's going to be coming to Impact Wrestling. I can't remember his name. Marshall, or what is his name? Mauro Nakazawa, or Nakazawa. I'm bad with names, guys. I'm sorry. But he's coming to Impact Wrestling. But does this translate to going to New Japan Pro Wrestling? Maybe New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. I haven't seen it yet. Every time I want to go and see it, I haven't had a chance yet. Does it translate over there? Do Impact stars appear over there? Maybe. But they don't really sponsor it. Impact doesn't sponsor New Japan Pro Strong. And I haven't heard New Japan Pro Strong sponsoring Impact. So where does Impact gain anything? It doesn't gain anything. They're still using the same venue. Yes, when they go to Las Vegas, they'll have a couple of weeks there, but my guess they'll come back to the same Impact Zone. Hopefully, they will leave it eventually and find a new venue permanently next to them traveling to different places. I know they'll be traveling different places eventually, but they need to find another permanent place when they can't travel. It is time. Next, they have used Josh Matthews again instead of Matt Striker or Mauro or somebody else they could use. Hell, I would love Joey Styles to come back into business, but he is working in real estate right now. I'm just saying, this is a moment for Impact. They must make Bound for Glory mean something going forward. They must do something different after Bound for Glory. If they keep doing what they're doing, and I know people love Impact, I still love it, but I've told you guys the truth. Impact's booking and writing still sucks. Yes, Rhino looks good. It looks good. They did some good booking for Trey. But the inspiration, that was wrong. You can't justify it. None of you can. Not because I think you're idiots, but because you can't bring in 2 people from another company that were released separately and then bring them back 100% on a signature paper. It's pissing me off. At a signature pay-per-view, instead of bringing them in properly, you throw them in to the deep water, literally, making them have this signature match where winning or losing could screw them up. Literally, they can be screwed up when they win, because if they're not booked properly after they win, because they don't have that many women on Impact, it's going to make them look like garbage. So I'm saying this is a very important moment for Impact. And I hope you enjoyed this review. Please give me a comment below. Tell me if you want me to take a look at one of the matches on Crown Jewel. One. Because I'm not watching that entire show and doing a review of it. Fuck no. I'm not giving them that satisfaction. Peace.